You have a great product, but you don't have a system to attract dealers and distributors to sell your product. And I'm going to walk you through how to set up a Facebook ad to flip the script and have these individuals come to you, even if you've never ran an ad before. My name is Dennis, and we help manufacturers scale leveraging paid ads and systems. So if you want these types of results for your company, continue watching. So one of the biggest mindset changes you're going to have to shift right now is saying that dealers and distributors are not on this platform. They're business owners, they're sales reps, they're account managers, and they're constantly checking their phone. So instead of relying on trade shows and referrals and even cold calling, we're gonna flip the script and have them reach out to you. So let's dive right in. So right now we are in the back end of Facebook's ad manager. Now, if you don't have a Facebook page, you're gonna have to create one for your business. If you don't have a Facebook account, as far as your personal account, you're gonna have to create one. You don't have to use it, but you would need that in order to run ads on it. On the back end of Facebook, we are going to select leads when we select create a campaign. So let me X out and redo this. So right here, we're gonna select create, select leads, continue. And now we can name your campaign. So we could just put prospecting. This doesn't really matter. It's just for you to be organized. Then for our budget, we are going to set it at $50 a day. Now, the next question that you might have in mind is how many leads I'm going to get. And it really matters on many factors. Is one, your offer, your messaging, your follow-up, because you can receive a ton of leads, but you follow up 3 days later, that's all they're going to be. They're never going to be customers. So you could expect 10 leads, you could expect 50 leads, more or less, right? So it's going to come down to many factors, but we're going to talk about how to increase your odds in having those leads convert. Next up is your ad set level. So here's where you're going to target your location and your interests and your conversion location. So starting off an ad for the very first time, there are different friction points. So when we set up an ad, we want to validate one thing at a time, and that's going to be your image or your video, because that's what's going to take the most real estate on Facebook's newsfeed. So instead of having your leads leave Facebook, and now we have to worry about if your landing page is going to convert, we're just going to start off with getting the lead form and see if your image is going to catch your audience attention and if they're going to fill out the form and then become a lead. If you're seeing success from there and you want to increase the quality of lead even more, we now understand the image or video that we're using is targeting our audience, is getting them to convert. Then we could create a landing page and repeat the process. So until then, we're going to start off with instant form. Here, we're going to have your Facebook page. We want to set up dynamic creative because this is going to allow us to have the ability to test several creatives instead of just one at a time. It's going to save us time and money because we're going to get Facebook 2 or 3 creatives, and then Facebook is going to cycle through to see which one gets the best conversion and focus on that one. So now we have our budget set up, the start time, if we want to adjust it. So here is our location. So when it comes to targeting, here comes our location. Now, depending if we want to focus on a region of the United States or all of the United States, we could just target right here. So let's just put down United States. But if you want to exclude a specific area, let's say Montana, if you're from Montana watching this, no hate. Age group, you can leave it as is. Language, you can leave it as it is. But next is your detailed targeting. So there are 2 different arguments of detailed targeting. You have people who say, I only target broad. Then you have people that say, I only target interests. Either or works. However, keep in mind, if you load this up with every interest possible, I personally believe that's no good. It's not going to help you at all. But on the flip side, I do believe that it's Facebook's best interest to target your audience or target the proper audience for your ad. So your messaging on your ad, whether it's on the ad itself or in the video, what you're saying, your ad copy, all that plays a major, massive role when it comes to targeting your audience because Facebook cares about user experience. If they're receiving an ad that's not relevant to them, it's not going to resonate. They're going to spend less time on the platform. And overall, Facebook is going to lose money because they make pretty much all their money through advertising. Keep that in mind. You have 2 options. You could use interests. I personally don't. And if I do, I'll maybe use 1 or 2. I don't use 18. There's no benefit to that. Next step is your ad placement. Now, we used to have the ability, we still do, perfect. We used to have the ability to adjust this. Some ad accounts, we have lost the ability to make some changes, but this one's an old account and we still have access to. One thing that I always remove is audience network. It will drive traffic to an area we're not able to retarget, which is a waste of money in my eyes. So this is what really matters the most. Now we're going to ignore what this says right here. So when it comes to setting up your ad, this is what is really going to make or break your account. Because when we go on Facebook, let's just hop on mine. When you see an ad, the image or video is what gets most of the real estate. As you can see, the messaging, very little. There is so much text, but only the first sentence was visible. So if no one clicks the first sentence, they're not going to read all that. So your image and video plays a massive role. So with that being said, we need to understand why someone is going to inquire, right? We have to understand their pain points. We have to understand what they're looking for, what language we need to use in order for them to inquire. And a great area to look into while you're doing your market research to target your audience, because you should never set up an ad without doing market research. You're just blowing money. And if you want to blow money, just Venmo it to me. I'll put it to good use. An area you want to look at is Reddit for your consumers. Just type in a question your consumer would enter or your customer will enter looking for your solution. So you could check out Reddit, Google, Quora, and sometimes YouTube will be a good option. And then you're going to start gathering information and you're going to see their pain points. What are they looking to resolve? What challenges are they dealing with? What is an outcome that they want? And then you could take that lesson and implement it on your ad. Next up is the creative. What we want to focus on now is the image or the video. Now, I tend to find it a pretty even split as far as what works best as far as an image or a video. For time's sake, I started off with an image. Here's going to be the breakdown of a creative. We want to start off with the audience you're calling out, and then you could put in a qualification question or statement right here. So you could put down a revenue amount. You could put down if they have a warehouse that's over 5,000 square feet, whatever you would need to make you get in front of a qualified audience. It could be revenue, it could be the amount of salespeople, it can be the amount of traffic they receive or orders they have to place in, whatever the case may be. That's going to be very important. Then is going to be your pain point, what you do, and the call to action. Now, this ad is extremely simple, not sexy, and that's okay, because all we want to do is we want to validate what is going to convert for them to fill out a form. Now, since we set up a dynamic creative ad, we now have the ability to test different creatives. I would say at a $50 budget, no more than 2 or 3. But when you do change something in your creative, change one thing and only one thing. So right here, the one thing we're changing is our problem. Looking for better margins. The next one is need fast moving inventory. And the following is struggling with tight margins. Now, if you wanted to try something different, you could change different background. You could change your claim. You could change your call to action. But you only want to change one thing at a time, because if you're changing several factors as far as like the call out, the qualification, and the call to action, you don't know what is going to be the thing that did it. So make sure you change one thing. We're going to select the image, place it in here, and then your image is going to pop up. So let me do that for you. So as you can see, we set up the ad. There are 3 images that we're testing out. Next is the form. We have their attention. The next thing is for them to fill out a form. So we're going to scroll down. We're going to create a form. This is very important. You want to name it the proper thing. So it could be construction, because that's what I have on the ad. The volume, higher intent, have them confirm the information, which is good. I like that. Intro, yada, yada, yada. Usually I like to have a claim, have it resonate with what it's on the ad. So if your ad is saying we manufacture products, you could put that there, looking for better margins. Whatever your big claim is, put in the headline, the description, a little bit of what your product offers. Now, the questions. So this is going to be everything. Then we have conditional logic. Conditional logic is going to be a game changer. So here we're able to set up a question and qualifying the prospect. But keep in mind, we want to kind of ease into the questions, kind of related to like dating. We're not going to ask someone to marry you in the first date, but you will get to that topic maybe later on. Maybe not, maybe you're a creep, whatever the case may be. But if you have a hard question like finances, you want to bury that into your questionnaire. But don't ask 10 questions because it's going to lower the volume of leads you get, but the quality is going to be much higher. So I would like to have maybe 3, 5 is kind of the limit, but 3 will be good. So right now, let's say we want to ask them, are you currently a dealer for another product, for another company? Yes, no. So we could save our time now and let's say yes, we're going to end the page for leads, and then no, we're going to close the form. Then the next question could be another yes or no, and so on and so forth. Now, as they are answering these questions, and let's say they get to the point of them filling out the form, as you can see right here, and select continue and slide to submit, Facebook is going to register that they received a lead for your offer. And if they're qualified through your questions, they're now going to understand who's more likely to be qualified for this specific ad. And this is where we are now going to begin to get the type of leads and quality of leads that you are looking for. So conditional logic is going to be what makes or breaks your campaign as far as the quality of lead. Then we have the second step. Once you receive a lead, it's extremely important to follow up with that individual immediately. Now, there are many other videos online on how you could have Zapier connect with your email or WhatsApp to receive notifications, or even email the lead a, hey, we received your form, or a text message, or if you can connect it with your CRM, which is something I would highly recommend for them to start receiving a nurture sequence. Because the reason why leads convert great on Facebook, if you are pouncing on them, you don't want a cashier receiving these leads, calling them and asking them if they're interested. You want a shark that get on the phone, hammer them with questions, not exactly hammer them with questions, but you want a sales rep that's able to convert a cold lead, because these people are just getting interested into what you're offering, and you're going to need someone on the other end to be able to convert them and work them into your pipeline. So this is how you're able to leverage Facebook, flip the script, start getting distributors and dealers to inquire you for your product or your service. So if you want this for your team and you'd rather have the pros do it, you'd have the opportunity to click the link below, fill out a form, and we'll have one of our team members reach out to you to schedule a call. But if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, drop a comment or any questions, and looking to hear from you guys again. See ya.